What up? Welcome back. Welcome back to another Commercial Chronicle video. I'm your boy Swizzy, and I just finished listening to the president, Donald Trump. Farmers, he say raising tariffs. And I think, man, about how they're gonna fund. I think it said so many billions of dollars. There was a discussion of billions, of course. They start talking. He said we're gonna start giving billions of dollars to the farmers. One thing I did like that he talked about the equipment, the farming equipment, and I guess these new trucks ain't no good, man. All the new equipment, they saying it ain't no good. He said buy stuff, and he rather the old thing, the old equipment. But I guess they were talking about rice farmers. A lot of the rice farmers, meat prices came down, gas prices are coming down. The price of rice, they saying that rice, I don't know, man. I guess they're supposed to be, see, California's a big agricultural state. It's an agricultural state, but they're saying that like the agricultural state, they can't afford to, they can't afford to keep their farm. These people, man, because people are losing funding or something. I don't even know how we got to discussion with the farmers, but I guess a lot of, anybody that's a farmer or doing farming, a lot of them people been suffering lately, man. They've been not been able to keep up with their farms because they got to pay the. I know they were saying something about them people paying estate tax and stuff on their estates. Muhammad Salam, peace and blessings, bro. How you doing? So they trying, it's talking about, how much these farmers are going out of business. But rice, I didn't. Rice was like they was selling rice to Puerto Rico, right? That was one big thing. Puerto Rico was supposedly they were getting rice from the United States. Now, I guess Thailand and somewhere else is sending. They said India's manufacturing and sending rice too. So they said no more, man. Y'all can't keep on selling rice to our people. And rice is a big, one of them big things. Everybody love rice. You know what I'm saying? Name a tavern. Name tavern. That's that correct? Name tavern. Hey man, I appreciate you for joining, man. You guys hit the like button, man. Where you guys coming from? Where you from with the name? With that name? I rep y'all country because I know Muhammad, he ain't from America. Can't be from, well, he can be. There's a lot in America. I know a lot of people that are named Muhammad, but I just would think that, you're not from here. And Namitava, Nam Travern. I mean, I have to ask a question where you from, but I appreciate you joining me. But I just would like to know anyway. So like this is the harvest season too. Like well, the harvest is over pretty much. We're in the winter season right now. This is the winter months. But in certain parts of the state, certain parts of the country, Uh, that looks like foreign writing. It's foreign, definitely. Oh, appreciate you, man. But right now they got a bunch, like right now, with a bunch of these farmers and stuff, is they're losing their farms. They was definitely losing their farms, you know. And going into the next year, because they got to prepare their soil now. Any of y'all know about, right? You got to till and get ready to, you don't seed now, or you can seed now, but they go on the ground and die, but you still got to till the soil because they just had the harvest. So just in preparation for next year, but a lot of them don't know if they're going to sell their farms. So the president is now saying, oh, we're going to try to help fund the people's farms in America so they could compete globally. They ain't farming. They're not able to compete with other countries. Other countries don't, you know. They're not dependent on the government for their funding. They just, well, not really. I know in Haiti, the government, if you have land in Haiti, and I just know some Haitian people that got land over there, right? He has to farm for the government, right? And if you don't produce enough, or what they say you're supposed to do because of land that you have, the government will throw you in jail because you ain't producing enough crops. Even if the crops die, if we have a dry season, you're gonna go to jail. You know what I'm saying? My boy Gene, he used to have a farm back home, and he used to go home. He would work every year, he would go home. Sometimes he was like, I gotta go do like 4 months or a couple months or whatever, however, because it was his farm and his family handled it back home. But then we had a season where things weren't going right, and he would have to go back and go do jail time and come back to the country and come back to work. I was like, that's crazy. He's like, that's how it is. Because he had a farm over there in his country. But shout out to Gene, man. So it's just geopolitical stuff that they was talking about, like with farming. That's all. I don't know if you guys in your country where you at, if your family lineage or generations and stuff like that, people were farmers and stuff. You know, a lot of people here, African Americans, their people was sharecroppers because they were slaves on farms. So farming is a very big thing here in this country. You know, most of the people that worked on these farms here in the country, and this is the reason why a lot of these farms are going under right now too. They don't have the labor, they don't got the people, you know what I'm saying? They don't got the money to pay people. And a lot of the people that were working on their farms, they either been they're scared to show up to work, even if they live on the farm, or they probably been deported. So it's a real touchy subject for a lot of people when we start talking about farming, because you want to talk about the immigrants that work the farms. You know what I'm saying? Oliver Henson, how you doing? Appreciate you for joining me, man. But you go ahead and hit that like button, Oliver, man. So basically, yeah, I was saying, I'm doing pretty good, I always stay in tune with. I used to read the newspaper before everything was on the internet. Every day, I used to deliver newspapers. So when I was younger, so for me, a big part of my day has always been the news. You know what I'm saying? Whether it was in the morning during a commute or delivering the papers after school. You know what I'm saying? I was always into the news and stuff like that. But just hearing about this farm stuff is because there's a lot of stuff that's going on. They're going to have a discussion on raising interest rates. They're going to have discussions on we have a war. Wars are going on. This late night they probably have that discussion, right? Because they're going to talk about all that. Appreciate that. They're going to talk about stuff like that. But I try to tune in because it makes for good conversation when you're in a room full of adults. You know what I'm saying? People that's kind of, you know what I'm saying, in the, you know, they in the know. They know what's going on and stuff. And just, you know, sometimes it's foreign affairs or sometimes it's the economy that's the conversation. You know, we talk about sports all the time. I don't really follow sports too much no more, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, I those young people that came up in there, high school and college and then into the, made it to the leagues and stuff, whatever, basketball, football, baseball, you know, track, whatever. I just, you know, I'm not all that into, you know, sports these days. And you're getting a bad rap because of the betting and everybody saying that, you know, he throwing the game and stuff. So they'll twist anything, the news. Anything could get twisted in the news. Just as fast as you can make a statement, it could be twisted and turned around and a whole narrative, you know what I'm saying, behind it could shift. So, but with farming, we gotta eat. We have to eat, right? And I already talk about they making artificial food and stuff. They were talking about the ranchers. They're saying beef prices come down. But I just heard that they closed down Tyson. Tyson got closed down. I used to play sports too. I had trophies. My sons in them bad. Yeah, they closed down Tyson. Not all of them, but one. You know, big meat packaging place, very big. Employed thousands and thousands of people. Is there a shortage of beef? I doubt it. You know what I'm saying? It's just that I don't even know if the demand is there for all that beef. You know, it said the price of things are coming down. So with things being a price so high, I guess it's not selling. That supply chain is kind of slowed down. You know, the production on that supply chain because the demand is probably low because the cost is real high. That's what I would think. But you know, a lot of these farmers, they got old equipment. They can't afford to get new equipment. You know, that affects us. That affects us. That affects the grocery store. The prices are gonna end up going high. So they gotta do something, man, to make it so that they can compete. Because a lot of the stuff that we're getting, is being imported because our farmers are not, you know, they're not productive. They don't have the help. A lot of people are gone. They've been ran out of here by ICE, right? So, or they scared, you know. And, that directly, you know, comes back to bite us when we go to the grocery store because everything that we buy is imported and the tariff. Well, that price is passed along to the consumer. So that's why we're paying high prices at the grocery store, you know. Yeah, because a nation that can't feed themselves, if we can, we got plenty of land to you know, it's wild, man. It's wild how they got it out here, man. It's wild. You didn't even think you in a situation where you living in under these conditions out here, you know, and people don't think about this stuff. That's why I try to have the discussion just to try to, you know, have, you know, bring some awareness to somebody, some, you know, other who otherwise would look at it a certain view, because you have to look at these things from a different viewpoint and not always go with, you know, sometimes what these narratives are. I think it's all orchestrated. Everybody could say, oh, you know, it was this administration and that. Once he's out of office, it's going to be a lasting effect of everything that he's doing. And then the next person that does get into office is going to be settled down with trying to fix all this crap. And that's just the truth. You know what I'm saying? So is going to wind up, it'll be revisiting us somehow. You know what I'm saying? It's trauma, as traumatic as it might all be right now with this, what's going on. every day is something. Every single day. It just don't stop. You know? And just like Oliver says here, Oliver Henson, farmer situation is devastating. Yeah, they, but who did the farmers so dirty? Who actually did the farmers? I mean, I think if you look at foreign trade, if you lose a customer, I don't. I think this year here was such a bad year for farmers. I mean, worse off than previous years. All right, I think that this year it probably started to go downhill maybe a couple years ago. You know, because with the high cost of, you know, maintenance and fuel, you know, maybe some of that farm equipment had been on one leg. Just over the last couple of years, it just, you know, now to work the machines harder because you have less people. You know, people are leaving and going and feeling like they need to go back to their country, because most of the people that were working on these farms, especially in California, which is it's a whole big agricultural country, or agricultural state. And I've been out there getting produce and bringing it cross country and stuff. Um, it's an agricultural state. Everybody that you see out there that's working out there on those farms, you know, they're the people that you would least that, you know, you say, oh man, they're all that, you know what I'm saying? You would least expect it, but they were, you know, from shipping and receiving to working the bay doors and the docks, out in the woods. You name it, man. All of everywhere I went, stuff. It was always Hispanic workers. So, and a lot of them, they were living on these plantations or whatever, where they're farms, humongous, all massive, mad acres of orange trees, oranges, orange groves, apples. You know, they got all kinds of nice flowers and everything. You know, exotic flowers and stuff like that. California is an agricultural state. Cali don't do manufacturing. You don't see warehouses out there pumping, you know what I'm saying, a lot of exhaust out because they in there, you know, got metal and steel mills. And no, they don't do that in Cali. Agricultural state, like, if anything, they packaging goods, whatever those goods are that they packaging, they were like grown, literally out of the dirt. You know, your fruits and vegetables and stuff like that. Stuff come from California, other areas of the country, but Cali's an agricultural state. So those farmers out there, they've been going at it, like a lot of laws and stuff. That's why it's like they have the zero emissions out there for trucks, and you have to have the type of truck that doesn't emit carbon monoxide or carbon dioxide. But they do have trucks out there like that. You just got to be grandfathered in. I think they're changing that law now. So a lot of laws that they just changed too that affect agriculture. You know what I'm saying? And for farmers and truck drivers too. So it goes hand in hand. Like for you guys with trucks, you already know if you have, you know, the type of vehicle. It used to be that you had to have you can get it D-rated. You know what I'm saying? And have your diesel. Your carbon emissions reduced with the DEF system that they have in there. I don't have DEF. I have a glider. I don't have a DEF in none of my trucks. Thank God for that. So, but This is said to be, it's going to be one of the coldest record winters they talking about. I don't know. I haven't been through some cold winters before, man. I've been through some very cold winters, sub freezing temperatures and stuff. You know, you. I don't know nobody trying to grow no crops, nothing like that in that type of weather. But there are people that plant stuff over the winter. The ground too frozen for that, you know. So, all right, our farmers better just wait till February. After the January thaw, February you might could break ground and then they can start. I don't know. I don't know. But I just hope that they could get, I hope that they could just get these prices to come down a little bit more, Like that's this whole thing with making these farmers, giving these farmers all these billions now to help them out. I should start a farm. Shit. They probably gonna be giving money away, Hey, you wanna start farming? Anybody ever thought about doing a homestead farm? But I mean, you don't have to mass produce nothing though, you know what I'm saying? You can just you can homestead. You could be a small retailer, but it's, like a small country market or something. You could supply the local country market with your eggs and stuff. You know what I'm saying? If you raise chickens, or if you're growing potatoes, or tomatoes and peppers, and put down your local store, man. Get that stuff and supply it. And that's what they want to do. They want to see people start to do that. Acquire some of this land, because you got people from other countries that are coming over here buying the land. You know what I'm saying? And they're farming the land, and then they're exporting that stuff back to their country. But they'll come buy land here in the United States. I don't really necessarily. A lot of people have mixed feelings about how much land somebody that's not from the country should be allowed to buy. Like, if I go to another country, can I just go buy 5 acres of land and then turn that into a farm or some? I don't think they'll allow me to buy that much. So the same thing with coming here. A lot of people have mixed feelings about how much land people from other countries, particularly from China, they're coming here buying and then farming and then sending it back outside the country and selling it to other, some of the other customers, some of the, some of the, well, I mean, it's competition, man. But they're looking at you. If you take a deeper look at it, if you take a closer look at it, and you see, American farmers are competing with other farmers who aren't American but are using American soil to produce crops, and then compete in the foreign market, because we export a lot of stuff. We can sell things here at home, but we also export, and we have customers outside the country that we export to. Providing that you're like a U.S. base or U.S. Like they talk about America first. Like, okay, he's from India and he moved to America and bought the land and started a farm, and now is trading to Puerto Rico. So they figure they're buying it from the United States, right? Yeah, it is coming from the United States. But the company that, farmed it, they're not U.S. citizens, but they're based in the U.S. and using U.S. soil. So that's where the conflict is coming, because they're kind of competing with other U.S. Second and third generation farms or farmers that might be selling to Puerto Rico. or somewhere else, you know, because we export stuff. So these second or third generation farmers are now competing with an Indian farmer who's based in the U.S. because he moved to the U.S. Some land, started to farm, and is now your competitor. Like, so they're like, oh, make America first. So that's like, that's fair trade though. You know what I'm saying? That's a free market. It's open, in the market, like open foreign trade and stuff like that. Now it's like, okay, America first. Well, you're using American soil to produce your crops, right? So America should be first. Those people that have ties here, and it just gets more and more and more and more, like the entitlement, right? Entitlement, privileged, right? So now I guess the name of the game where it comes to foreign trade. America first, okay, you get privilege, and then everybody else. Like, and then when it comes down to me, okay, I'm from America, right? I'm born and raised here. Will I have some privilege if I'm a farmer and there's another farmer who's two or three generations, their family? I might just be starting for the first year or two in farming. So how's the scales gonna go then? You're gonna be like, we ain't buying from you. With our guy we've been dealing with for 5 generations. All your stuff go bad. That's fine. I'm not doing no farming. Wherever I go, I'm gonna be able to get rid of it. Because if I sell it, I'm gonna eat it. But they got these other laws too. Tobacco products and stuff like that. So a lot of this stuff, man, these farmers are really, really affected. They don't talk about it. They really make it. They a lot of times they make it all seem like they talking about, oh, there's the guy that's growing corn, or the guy that's growing, growing rice, I feel you, man. You drive safe, man. Peace and blessings to you, man. I hope you make it there too, man. And when you get there, I know you're gonna be happy. So just take your time, man. They'll be there waiting for you. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people out here on the road traveling right now. So, we're just sending traveling mercy out to y'all. Safe travel to and from, I'm not going nowhere. I'm sitting right here. My travel plans was, all my plans that I had, they all got ruined for the holiday. My travel, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? My plans, going nowhere. I had planned to. I was planning months in ahead of time, but I just waited too long for the flight tickets, and plus because of work too, our weather. It's all based off of weather, so we kind of behind. So I can't up and leave now if they need me. So I'm gonna stick around for the holiday. I will do a little bit of, I'll probably fly out over the weekend or something. You know what I'm saying? Like around, like towards New Year's or around Christmas or something. Cause I know it shut down then. But I was trying to take a little 2 to 3 weeks off. That all those plans got, all that stuff got messed up. So, anyway, yeah, man, y'all. I hope you guys have enjoyed the rest of this Monday, man. Ain't no motion today. I didn't work, so I just was, doing a little running around and stuff. I'm gonna get some information for you truck drivers. The IUL life insurance policy I was talking about that I picked up. great policy. I should be receiving some stuff in the mail from Fidelity real soon. I'll share a little bit with you, and I can get you back with the agent so that if you want to go ahead and pick up this insurance policy, if it's something that you might be interested in for you and your family, or just that you want to have a peace of mind, you know what I'm saying, as you know, for retirement, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that, you can go ahead and I'll make sure I put a link in the description. But it won't be this video here, but you keep a lookout for it. It's the IUL, okay? Great, and it's a great retirement package. Life insurance policy included. You can borrow money against this thing, and you can earn some money too. It acts just like it's an investment tool. But like I said, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not an insurance agent. I'll just share with you some information about the policy once I receive my package in the mail. I had to get off the phone with them earlier today. They called me up just to finalize everything and stuff like that. Asked me a few questions about, you know what I'm saying, about my health history and, you know, some of my doctor's information and stuff because, you know, I have the hypertension and stuff. So they had to do a follow-up and stuff like that. I mean, it had me wear like a monitor earlier this year, and you know, I guess they were just kind of wanting to have a little bit more question. They had some questions they wanted to ask me, the underwriters, you know what I'm saying, or somebody, not the I guess somebody that they dealt with the underwriter, but once they saw, you know, the medication, which is a very low dose, you know what I'm saying, then they saw that, you know what I'm saying, that I had that condition or whatever, that I was diagnosed with that. They just wanted to ask and verify over the phone for me the my primary care doctor and their information, so everything would be on record. That's it, nothing big. But so that wraps up a lot of that. You know, just need to cross T's, dot the I's, make sure all the information that they need to have in this policy before it goes to the underwriter, that everything is legit, and that'll be it. That'll be it. You know, I mean, I could have a little more peace of mind knowing that, you know what I'm saying, in the event anything were to happen, that, you know, I would be covered to a certain extent. So that's always something that, you know, you want to be prepared for. So long before retirement. All right. But yo, I appreciate you guys for checking in. You know what I'm saying? Super Lux. You get home safe to the fam. All right. Mr. Henson, Oliver, appreciate you guys chatting with me. All right. And do me a favor, like, subscribe, and leave a comment. And check me in the next video. It's your boy Swizzy. I have a great rest of your peace out.